Hey guys, Mr. Scary here. I just wanted to say thank you for 26 subscribers. Keep doing a good job. I'm hoping to get more. And soon I might do a question and answer if I can get up to 1,000. That's what my main goal I would go for. I'm actually just doing this more of a hobby. I'm not looking to get paid or anything. It would be nice, but yeah. With that being said, enjoy the video and I hope you guys have a good day and night. Thank you.
Mr. Scary Studios. Number 1.
This happened a number of years ago when I was around 12 or 13. It was around 9 p.m. and I was walking around a clothing store with my mom. There weren't many people in the store or even the parking lot, considering they close at 10 p.m. Anyway, about 10 minutes in, I noticed this guy in a black jacket is appearing everywhere I am, which I found odd, considering he was in a teen's clothing section with no kids, and didn't seem to be looking around. Every time I saw him, he would either make eye contact with me or act like he was on his phone talking to someone, and my memory is a bit fuzzy, so I'm not sure this even happened. But I vaguely remember him describing what seemed to be me to the person on the line. Eventually, I found my mom and told her there's a strange guy following us around, and she was creeped out, but didn't entirely believe me at first. He continued to follow me and my mom around the entire store. My mom, instead of going to an employee and alerting them, decided to just leave, which in retrospect wasn't the best idea, because he could have potentially followed us outside or had an accomplice waiting. He never followed us and there was no one outside, but it was definitely one of my creepier encounters.
Number 2.
This happened when I was in kindergarten, so I was about 5 or 6. My mom had recently welcomed home her second baby, and he wasn't born in the best condition. This isn't important until later. Anyways, my school district had an early release day for us. However, my mom must have not seen on the second school calendar because she wasn't waiting outside for me. My old apartment building was the kind of building where you either need a key or to be buzzed in by a tenant. Because I was 6, I didn't have my own key, so I rang the bell. However, my mom didn't buzz me in, as she didn't know I was to be let out early. With no choice but to wait outside, I sat down on the steps and waited for my mother. It seemed only a few minutes had passed before a man walked up to the steps with a key in his hand. Assuming he was one of the other residents, I quickly explained my situation to him and asked if he would let me inside. The man obliged to let me in, but told me to stick with him for safety. Naturally, this made sense to me, so I agreed. I reckoned he wanted to stop at his apartment for a moment and then he would walk me to where I lived. He opened the door and stepped into the building. He grabbed my wrist and pulled me behind him. It just dawned on me that it was rather a small apartment building, and my mom knew almost all the tenants. I didn't recognize the man as one of them, but I figured he must have moved in recently. I found it weird that he grabbed my wrist, but when I tried to pull away, he only held it tighter. Once we get inside, he quickly began walking down the hallway towards the back door. At this point, I knew something was wrong, but being 6 years old, I couldn't do anything to help me for what happened next. I am forever grateful. My mom's friend, we call her Michelle, was on her way to the back door because that's where the parking lot was. Upon seeing the man trying to take me out the back, she screamed at him, demanding to know who he was and who he thought he was doing with me. And what he thought he was doing with me. The man quickly let go and ran out the back. Michelle took me back to her apartment and let me wait there until my mom got home. I asked Michelle about this recently, and she told me that the man hadn't been a resident in the building. So, creepy man who tried to make off with me, you can go fuck.
Number 3.
Hey everyone, I was just lurking around Reddit, Let's Not Meet, and saw a story that reminded me of something that happened to me when I was about 12 or 13. I'm 18 now, and I thought I would share. So at 12 and 13, or 13, all my friends were getting into makeup slash clothes, etc., and was constantly buying nice designer stuff. My family were broke at the time, so I was never able to get this stuff. This led to me and my best friend Emily looking for ways to find money. Where I live, you can't get jobs at 12 or 13, so we was thinking of doing jobs for our neighbors, such as dog walking or car washing for our neighbors. Emily came up with the idea of me doing modeling for money. She said you can put pictures of yourself online and photographers will get in touch with you and you could potentially get money. So, being stupid, we went on loads of modeling websites, most of which probably weren't legit, and started putting my picture everywhere. We also put my phone number on there so that people could contact me. Anyway, nothing really came of this, but the next weekend I was back around at Emily's house and my phone rang. It was an unknown number and I answered. From what I could tell at the time, it was an older man with a thick northern accent. He started off by saying he had seen my picture online and complimenting me, saying I was very pretty. He then went on to explain he could have a potential job for me, so I asked him what he wanted me to do. He said he would like me to come to an old office in the city and read a script, but the script was quite mature, and he wasn't sure if I was old enough. I told him I was 13, and this is where it got weird. He started asking questions about my body, etc. If I had pubic hair yet, if my breasts had come in yet, and how big they was. He even asked if I had money to shave my legs yet. If I had to shave my legs yet. Or if I hadn't grown hair there yet. At the time, I was stupid and young. I didn't realize these questions were fucked up, so I actually answered him. He also explained about the scripts he wanted me to read. This was basically him describing people having an orgy, and I was supposed to read a script about the orgy. As we continued to speak, his breathing got louder, and he sounded as if he was doing something he shouldn't be. Then he asked if he was home alone. If we was home alone. We was, but instead I said no and that my friend's mom was home. He replied by saying, well, why is her little purple car gone then? This freaked me out and I hung up. My friend's mom did have a small purple car at the time. I have no idea how he would have known that. Maybe it was someone we knew. I'm not sure, but anyway, after that, I went back online and took all of my pictures down from the modeling sites. Sorry if this is not grammatically correct. I'm just writing this quickly whilst I have a spare minute.